Hi, my name is Christina Courage. This is the Fitness Vault. Today, our topic is going to be tools from the toolbox. So we're going to talk about small pieces of equipment that we can use for muscle release and mobility work, and just giving the body a place to come back to in terms of kind of a neutral point, a neutral balance. So we're going to play around with a few different tools today. So I'm going to just show one thing that you can do with each one. So this is your golf ball. All right, this is a really great tool. If you have issues with your feet, if you spend a lot of time on your feet, the bottom of the foot, the arch of the foot is going to get extremely fatigued. And that just radiates up through your Achilles tendon up into your calf. So if you have any foot injuries, it's always, always, always good to focus on those three areas: the arch, the Achilles tendon, and then the calf. Now the Achilles tendon is a tendon, so it's just not as vascular as the calf muscle. And also your arch is just an interwebbing of fascia, and it's super thick and it's super strong, and it basically acts like a mini trampoline. Every time you take a step, the bottom of your foot, the arch of your foot, acts as a mini trampoline. So if you're someone born with an arch that is fallen, or you tend to walk a little bit out of balance, using a golf ball is going to be a really great release tool for your lower leg and for your whole foot. It affects everything. So very simple. And you can actually start by just standing on the floor and just noticing how the bottom of your feet feel. Then, one foot at a time, you start by coming onto your heel, so the foot is flexed, and then you're just going on the very middle of the arch. So you're gonna lower down. And so I'm in control of the amount of pressure that I'm applying to the golf ball. It's very solid, it's very hard. So we're gonna hold this, and just for the sake of this video, I'm only gonna do it for 30 seconds, but you can absolutely do it for a minute. And as you begin to relax onto the golf ball, you're gonna get deeper into the arch of your foot. So you just wanna relax, breathe, take some full deep breaths, see if you can let go. And I'm not timing it exactly, but after a minute, let's just say it's a minute, you would actually do a little bit of rolling, because rolling just feels really good. But I like the pressure point release that we're doing on the arch. So you just pick a spot, give it a try. You're not on like the top part of or like right underneath your toe. You don't want to be on the pad. You want to be on the arch. Cool. And then what you can do before you switch sides is come back to that equal standing position. Just take a deep breath and notice if one foot feels different than the other. And absolutely, I definitely feel the foot I just rolled out is actually more soft and connected to the earth. And you have a ton of nerve endings in your foot and your fingers. So it's also really good because the nerves help us move and react with movement. So let's move on to the next tool. You can totally do this on both feet. All right, let's go up to the hips. So we're doing basically one for every major joint. So ankle, hips, and shoulders. This is where people have most of our problems, right? The joint. All right, so this is a soft ball. And this can be a little bit bigger, but basically it's the size of a softball, but it's actually soft. This one's filled with sand. The one I've used before, they have a little one filled with air. And this tool we're going to use for the psoas, which is one of the hip flexor muscles that attaches up into the lumbar spine. And in order for us to actually impact that muscle, we're going to get it from the front of the body, even though it's attaching in the back. Okay, so you're going to go through the front to release that muscle in the back. And this is a muscle that may encourage your lower back to arch, right? When you're really, really tight in those hip flexors and they're connecting up right up into your back, if the tighter they pull, the more it's gonna arch your back. So we wanna release that. So with this one, I know I'm gonna show you my belly for a second. With this one, you are gonna use some landmarks on your body. So find your belly button and then find the bony part of that hip. All right, and then you just draw a line, like trace a line between the belly and the hip, and then you go right in the middle of that line. You can actually, if you want, you can like draw it, make a little X. So right where I'm pointing, that's where I'm gonna place the ball to start, right? For this, the way we're gonna apply pressure is lying on the belly. So let me move back a little bit so you can actually see. And you know, it should be very relaxing, right? So you're gonna lie down and you're just starting by coming down. Now actually having the elbows up is gonna put a lot more pressure onto that belly. So we're gonna come all the way down and just turn your head to one side and we're just gonna do a full body relaxation. So if you are not feeling any sort of tightness or tenderness where the ball is, then I would just shift it around a little bit. It can be very much a trial and error process. So this is passive, a passive release, kind of similar to the arch of your foot, but we want the muscle and the soft tissue of the muscle to begin to respond. So we're just taking some deep breaths, and we're gonna, I would recommend you hold this 2 minutes to 5 minutes. The first time I did this was in a yoga class, and it was amazing. Okay, if you want to add more pressure, if you're like, this is not hard enough, you can bring your elbows up. If you want to add even more pressure, you would lift the same side leg up. That's gonna kind of get a little bit more into that muscle. All right, so let's pretend like we just did it for at least 2 minutes. And then we come up. Now with this one, you may not feel like exactly how it's affecting you, but your ability to stay upright and not flex at the hips should improve. And all of these tools can be done daily, and that's actually how they work. If you do them daily, you're going to start functioning a little bit better, and you're going to help counter all the things that are putting you in those tightened positions. All right, your last little tool is going to be a peanut ball. So it looks like a peanut, it's just 2 balls. I've seen this like 2 tennis balls, and you take duct tape and make them one. And now this is going to be for the thoracic and shoulder joint complex. So we're going to, thoracic scapular complex, we're going to take somewhere kind of middle of your back to the top of your shoulders, and you're going to put the peanut right on your spine. And right where that dip is where your spine is going, because we want to affect the soft tissue and not the bone. So this one's all trial and error. I would bend the knees, gently lay back. And this can be tricky, just getting it on a spot. And for the first time, it might be really, well, all of these moves might be all of these releases might feel extremely intense if you've never done them before. But with this one, you do want to pay attention to how you're positioning your hips and your pelvis. If you are really arching your lower back up off the mat, it's going to actually take away from some of that pressure on the peanut. So if you gently pull the belly button in and try to bring your lower back towards the floor, you're going to stay in a more neutral position, and you're just going to hold it here. This one also, like the psoas release for your hip flexor on the belly, you can hold this for 2 minutes to 5 minutes. I usually do about 2. If you want some more advanced, you could start moving your arms just very slowly up and down. You can grab that head, so just watch out, making sure your hair doesn't roll under it. And you can actually do a bit of rolling here. Super, super, super intense, okay? And typically, the goal or the purpose of a release is to bring the soft tissue back into a more pliable, neutral place. So we don't need to bruise it, we don't need to kill it, but we might need to release it. So that's the whole purpose. We don't want to overdo it, but most of us have very, very tight muscles, and they're not really kind of bouncing back to their original shape. They're staying very tight. So that release can give you better movement. You can do this at any time of the day. Well, that concludes the toolbox of the small balls, and they're all kind of different. So if you join me again for the fitness vault, and I will see you around. Thanks for coming. Have a great day.